Hi, I'm Candice. I received a living kidney donation from my mom about 10 years ago on September 2009. My kidney failure began when I was young. They think when I was between 12 and 15 years old. I had medical records that had shown that my kidneys had been failing, but nothing was done about it until I was about 24 years old. And I started to have some flu-like symptoms. Um, I was really fatigued. I was tired. I had really bad psoriasis on my body. I couldn't keep a lot of food down. And so I was sleeping a lot, and I was no longer the peppy self that I had been. I played baseball my whole life, and I found that it was even difficult for me to throw the ball from home plate back to the pitcher's mound. So a lot of things gradually changed, mainly my energy levels and what I was able to do. Until I was a crash start. And once I got my blood work done when we thought I had the flu, and that evening that I had my blood work done, the doctors called my house and told my mother that I needed to go to emergency right away. And that was the beginning of my kidney journey. Living without working kidneys meant that I was not myself anymore. I was very tired, and I was not able to do all of the things that I used to do. When I went to the hospital, I was immediately sent to do a lot of tests. I had CAT scans, I had blood work, I had ultrasounds until they found that my kidneys were under 10% functioning, and that I needed to go on dialysis immediately. The first time I had a dialysis treatment was within 48 hours of finding out that I had kidney disease. So it was quite the crash, literally, health-wise, as well as emotionally. I was 24 years old, and I was in my fourth year university. I had been dating a guy for a year that now is my husband. But when you're 24, you're working, you're going to school, you're playing sports, you're hanging out with your friends, and all of a sudden one day that all stopped. And now I was doing dialysis in hospital 3 times a week for 4 hours. But at the beginning, I was an inpatient in the hospital for about 3 weeks, and I dialyzed every day until I could get stable. So it was an emotional roller coaster. It was scary. It was new, and I didn't know anything about kidney disease. I didn't know what to expect or what was going to happen to me. But I did know that I had great family and friends and people around me. I had great doctors and nurses who were supporting me to get me back on my feet until dialysis became routine, and until it became something that I was really grateful for, because once I started dialysis, I started to feel better. When my doctor told me that a living donor kidney transplant was my best option, I felt confused and nervous because I had just started dialysis. I had just been diagnosed, and I wasn't quite sure what was next. But I did know that I didn't want to stay where I was, because it was such a change in my life, and I was now connected to a machine to keep me alive. And I knew that transplant would give me freedom, and it would give me better health. So before I even thought about finding a living donor, my mom stepped forward and said, "What is this all about? How do I become a donor yesterday? What do we need to do to find out how to get her a kidney transplant and how to get her healthier. I found it difficult to talk about living donation with friends and family because it's a huge thing to discuss. But I was really lucky that I didn't have to do the talking. I had a champion, and my champion was my mom. And my mom was the one who told people what I was going through. And she was the one who told family and friends that a living donor kidney transplant was the best option for me. So I didn't have to talk to other people about the need for a kidney. I had a champion that could do that for me. And I'm so grateful that she did that. And I think it made the entire journey a lot easier for me to focus on my health and not have to focus on finding a donor because I had somebody who stepped up to do that for me. Even with my fears, I decided to try to find a living donor because I knew that that was the best possible scenario for my health, for my life, and for me to be able to continue the life that I had dreamed about. The best outcome would be for me to find a living donor. I was very afraid of what would happen to my mom if she was my donor, and what would happen during the surgery, and would this affect her long term, and is she healthy enough to be a kidney donor? Would she survive the surgery? Would I survive the surgery? All of these questions that I think everybody runs through their head and thinks about, but the lifespan for somebody who has a kidney transplant, and especially a living donor kidney transplant, is far longer than if we stay on dialysis. And I think not only is it important for us to look at kidney transplantation and living donation as the best possible option for us, but it also is the best possible option for our family and friends as well, because then they're able to have somebody around who is healthy and able to engage and able to live life with them and have a normal, regular life, doing the things that you love to do and participating in family functions and being around without being exhausted and tired and unable to do the things that you love. When my mom first said that she would think about donating a kidney, I felt nervous and scared, but I also felt an overwhelming feeling of gratitude and just awe that she would want to do something like that for me, and that she would step forward without asking me first, that she would ask my doctor how she could do that. So for me, it was amazing, that bond that my mom and I had before the transplant. And then going through all of the steps, all of the tests, everything that we went through together really, really strengthened that bond that we now have together. But yes, I was really scared when she first stepped forward, but also excited about the thought that there could be an end in sight for dialysis, and that this could actually be a reality. On the day of the procedure, when I was being rolled into the operating room, I was actually able to see my mother in the hallway after her surgery from recovery. And I'm not sure if it was a fluke or if it was meant to be, but I was initially, before I saw her, thinking, I hope she's okay. And I wasn't at all thinking about myself. I was just worried, was my mom okay? And did she go through the surgery, and was everything great? And once I saw her and knew that she was okay, and the doctors told me that everything went great, I went into the operating room feeling excited. Whether it worked or not was not in my mindset. It was just, I can't wait to wake up and see what it feels like to have a working kidney. And let's get this over with. Let's do this and let's start the next day of my new life. When I saw my mom the morning before the surgery, we talked about really simple things, like what we ate and what the night before was like. And my husband had stayed in the hospital with me the night before. So I had somebody with me. So seeing her, we were both scared. We were both excited, but my mom is a really positive person. So she didn't want to talk about being afraid. She just wanted to talk about how great this was going to be and how it was going to change my life and how much healthier I was going to be, and how grateful she was that she was the one who got to do it. And so I told her that I loved her and that I was so grateful for her and that I couldn't wait to eat her chili and nachos and drink a Coca-Cola, and just talk about how crazy the whole experience was with her when this was all over. After the surgery, I was excited to once again be able to swim and have baths and be able to pick up my nephews and be able to go to family functions and stay the whole time without being tired or sleepy, and be able to eat whatever I wanted. I know it's such a small thing, but not having to worry about how much salt or potassium was in something was really exciting for me. So I think after the surgery, I ate chili for about 3 solid weeks because I really missed it. But I think the one thing that I was most excited about was just to be around family as long as I could and to be able to actually stay awake for all of the things that I had been too tired to do before. My recovery was really great. I was in the hospital, I think, for only about 5 days. But I do remember waking up and instantly feeling like something was different. And within a couple days, yes, the incision did hurt, but the amount of energy that had come back was shocking. I had my face was pink again. I wasn't as tired as I had been for a really long time. My skin cleared up, so I no longer had really bad psoriasis all over my body. And my head was clearer. So I remember when I was on dialysis and I was trying to study for exams and do school, it was really hard to focus. And I remember having to read pages over and over and over again because I just could not remember what I had just read. So being able to sit down and read a book fully and actually remember what I had just read was amazing as well. A life without dialysis meant that I had freedom and that I had my health back and that I had no restrictions. So when I was on dialysis, I was always worried about time, what time I was out until, because I had to hook up to my peritoneal dialysis machine. I would worry about what I was eating, how tired I was going to be from doing the things that I was doing, if I would have enough energy to do all of the things that I had signed myself up to. And the most noticeable difference for me definitely is my ability to get through a day without napping is a big one. My ability to eat out in public without fear of what the menu looked like, if there was anything that I would ever be able to eat at a restaurant. And also just how engaged I can be now with other people. I'm not so bogged down worrying about my health, worrying about if I'm drinking too much water, or if I'm eating the wrong things, or if I'm going to have time for all of the things I want to do before I have to do my dialysis. So it's just freedom, the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it, and the ability to enjoy your life, the ability to travel without having to bring giant suitcases of fluid or your dialysis machine, or booking weeks and months in advance to make sure that everything is okay. So there's just a lot more flexibility and a lot more freedom in what you're able to do. Your life becomes yours again. It has now been 10 years, 10 months, and 5 days, or 3,961 days since I had my living donor kidney transplant from my mom, and I feel absolutely amazing. I am independent. I am physically stronger. I have more energy. I feel healthier, and I feel so much happier being able to have full autonomy over my life and do what I want to do, and explore my passions and travel and meet new people and eat new foods, and just do things that I want to do because I have the energy and ability to do it without being held down by a dialysis machine. The relationship that I have with my donor, who's my mom today, is so much better and so much stronger and deeper and more connected than it ever was before. I appreciate her. I think about her all the time. We're together all the time, and we truly feel insanely connected now that we have been through this experience together. It's really bonded us. It's bonded our whole family. My mom's a superhero, and there's nothing that I could ever do to thank her that I feel would ever be enough. And when I told my dad that, he looked at me and he said, just live your life and show her that you're living your best life and that you're living your healthiest life. And so I do try to do that for her and for my family and everybody who supported me through this. What I learned about myself through this whole process is that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was. And that going through an experience like this really made me appreciate the people around me a lot more. It made me appreciate the little things as well, like chocolate cake and Coca-Cola. And it made me want to spend more time with the people that I love, because you don't know how much time you have on this earth. And so spend it wisely and spend it with the people that you really love. And it also really made me want to give back. So because I have been given so much, I wanted to give back to others as well and do something that would help other people, whether in the kidney community or my neighbor next door, or spreading love and kindness in any way that I can. It's all about learning and growing and continuing to spread kindness and give back because of how much I've been given in my life, and how this second chance at life has given me the opportunity to do so many things that I wouldn't have been able to do without it. And I also learned that deep down, other people are truly kind, and that you get to meet some of the strongest, most amazing people in the entire world through this process. And I'm so grateful that I got to meet all of the doctors and nurses and dietitians and pharmacists and volunteers and peers and people who are going through this process on a daily basis, and who might wait for a kidney for a long time, or who might be a donor to someone, or a caregiver, family member. There's a lot of amazing people in the world, and I think this process really showed me that. Looking back, I didn't expect that it takes as long as it did. So I think in the movies and things like that, we see someone needs a kidney and get it to them quickly, and it happens so quickly. And so I didn't expect all of the tests that we would have to go through, and how long it would take, and the process of going through all of that. So it took a lot longer than I expected. And I didn't expect it to be so thorough as well. So all of the tests that you go through, they're to ensure that you are the healthiest person that you can be to go through this surgery, and that your donor is the healthiest person that they can be to go through the surgery as well. So it is of the benefit to both people that it happens. But I just wasn't expecting it to take as long as it did. But I'm very grateful that all of those things were done. And then I didn't expect to feel so good so quickly. It was within days that I felt like I was a new person, and that I had more energy than I ever had in my entire life. So it does change you very, very quickly, and you'll feel the benefits of what it feels like to have a real kidney working for the first time in a long time, and how much you're going to pee. There's another one. I didn't expect how much you pee. So a lot of us who go through kidney failure or who are on dialysis, we don't pee, or we pee very little. And now that I have my mom's kidney, I pee all of the time. So I didn't expect that as either, but we call it liquid gold. And so we embrace it, and we love it as well. The only thing that I regret about the whole process was not taking more photos. I didn't take a lot of pictures on dialysis. I might have one or two. I didn't take a lot of pictures through the process, and I didn't take any pictures in the hospital of my mom and I before the surgery or after the surgery. So take pictures, because someday you'll want to look back on those photos and have those memories captured. I think that's my only regret, is I don't have photos of what we went through. What I learned from this entire journey was that we're very strong. We can handle a lot. And that personally, I have amazing people around me. I have an incredible mom. I have an amazing husband. I have an incredible family. I have an amazing group of friends. And I was really, really lucky that I had a massive amount of people around me supporting me through this. I had people who would sit with me through dialysis. I had people who would drive me to dialysis. I had people who would bring me snacks or just watch TV shows with me. I had my mom and my dad who would, give up half their house for the dialysis boxes when I was on peritoneal dialysis. My mom would set up my machine sometimes. I just had a lot of thoughtful people around me, and what I learned from this entire journey is that is what is important in life, are those people that you love, and keeping those good people around you will help you through these difficult days. I also realized that I need to be kinder to myself. So to allow myself sometimes to have a bad day. If you need to lay in bed and watch a movie with your dog, that's okay, as long as you get up and shower and try the next day. So give yourself some time to grieve as well, because this is a brand new life that you are now involved in. And then to celebrate small successes, celebrate big successes, and be as joyful as you can, because having a kidney transplant gives you the opportunity to have a brand new life. Since having my kidney transplant, I've gotten married, I've purchased my home with my husband, we've traveled all over the world, I've worked for some amazing organizations. I have nephews and nieces who I get to spend time with, and I get to do what I love every day without worrying about my dialysis machines or my diet or any of those things that really bog us down. So embrace the little things, spend time with the people you love, and do what makes you happy. My advice to others who need a kidney transplant is to ask a lot of questions, to get as much information as you can. A preemptive living donor kidney transplant is your best possible option. So if you can get a transplant before you need dialysis, that's the gold standard of care. There are people in your life who will want to support you and help you and be a champion for you. If you don't feel comfortable talking about needing a kidney transplant, find somebody who can be a champion for you and do that for you. So that's only one person you have to talk to about it. And then have them go out and talk about your need for a kidney and what other people can do to support you. Some people may jump at the chance to be your donor. Other people might jump at the chance to make you dinners or bring you lunches or drive you to appointments or sit with you and watch your favorite movie. All you have to do is ask, and it is very, very hard to be vulnerable and ask other people for help, but that's how you're going to get to where you need to go. There are really hard days, but there's also really good days, and you can do it. You are stronger than you think you are, and there are people out there who love you and care for you and want to support you through this journey that you're going through. So ask as many questions as you can, ask people for help, and enjoy the little things. One thing that I got out of my dialysis journey that I never thought I would was I now cook a lot with fresh herbs. So I've learned how to cook a lot healthier and a lot better because I no longer rely on salt as much. So find things that, even when you're on dialysis, that make you happy, that you can hold on to, and choose some goals for what you want to work towards. Your goal might be to have a piece of chocolate cake when you get your transplant, or run a 5K on your 5th anniversary, or finally take that trip overseas. Whatever it is, set small goals for yourself of what you're going to do tomorrow and next week and next month. Set big goals for yourself for next year or 5 years from now, because they will happen. And stay positive if you can. Allow yourself to have the bad days when you can't, and reach out to other people who have been through it. We've been through it, we've done it, and we've come out the other side. So there are happy days to look forward to, and having a transplant is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. It's given my life back, and I always, want to say thank you to my mom, because she gave me life twice, and she's the reason why I'm here today. So my advice are all of those things that I've already said. If you need support, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of resources that you can reach out to, and make sure to stay informed. And good luck.